Welcome to the This is 30 podcast. It's our Mother's Day episode. Thank you, Mommy. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, Mama. Okay, before we get into anything, I'm the non-mom on the panel, and I'm going to ask you quick fire questions to prove that you were born in the 90s. Quick fire. Which Power Ranger was your favorite?
Ooh. The red one.
The red one?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to go into why. Okay, why?
Because my favorite color is red. It's a very silly 90s reason. I mean,
Okay.
I was like 8 years old or something.
Were you a tomboy?
Yes, I was a tomboy.
Yes, this
Yeah,
makes-
so
this
pink
makes-
was just the
Yeah.
obvious choice.
Pink and yellow, right?
Yeah, just obvious choice. Red.
that?
Red.
Yes.
Red made sense. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Palisa. Red Power Ranger. Quick fire questions. So what is yours?
Yellow.
Yellow.
For the same reason, yellow is my favorite color.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
didn't expect that.
You didn't? What do you think? Pink.
Pink. Yes.
I was a girl. Still am a girly girl. But yeah, but pink, no. Yellow, definitely.
Yellow.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is Pili, our yellow Power Ranger. The karate one as well. She was really good with the...
she was.
Yeah. Shumi?
I personally did not like Power Rangers.
Wow.
I didn't like anything that my brothers watched, so none of them.
Say less. Thank you, Shumi. And so what was your show of preference?
Rugrats.
Yeah.
I loved Rugrats. And that's the only 90s show I can think of that I really liked. Like a cartoon from when I was a kid, definitely Rugrats. And now that I'm a mom, I understand them. I understand the crazy hair the mom had.
Those people, the Rugrats parents are our age. Just so that you guys know.
They're our age. In the show,
In the show.
they were our age now.
Yeah. 30 to 33.
But how do you know that?
I saw it on a meme the other day, and they're like, feel old.
Because we fact check with memes now.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
No, but why would somebody lie about
Oh,
it?
come on.
Why would they lie?
Likes.
Okay. So welcome to the Mother's Day episode, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Before we get started, because we're gonna go into like a full force discussion and all of that. Before we get into that, just share what you think is most important. If anyone takes a takeaway from this, what would you want them to take? Like Palisa said this, or you could maybe also just contextualize it and be like, what message would you give to your pre-mom self now that you're on this part of your journey?
Is that the question?
Yeah, just share from the heart. What that thing?
Shucks, man. I think like take it at your own pace. Listen to advice, but pick and choose what works for you. I mean, that's the post-mom stuff, you know. And also don't read too many like conflicting ideas and views from moms, right? And yesterday I was watching a podcast with, an interview with Michelle Obama and Oprah. And Michelle was just like, another thing, like take advice from mothers who have finished motherhood. Like, we're all still in between. Even if it's a mother of a 15-year-old, she's never mothered like a 17-year-old or an 18-year-old, you know. But like someone who's like maybe married off their kids, or their kids are now living on their own and they're self-sufficient, we can then see that, okay, this one did well here. Let's ask this person who's finished the course, you know. So I really like that advice. It's something that I just like literally watched yesterday, and I was like, okay, I like this.
Okay.
And yeah, but pre-motherhood, your pre-motherhood was nice. Pre-motherhood was nice. I wasn't always so fatigued. I wasn't always so tired. But probably one piece of advice that I could give pre-motherhood is that not all the time is like your parent partner necessarily also the person that you marry. So some people choose to just have a kid with someone that they can see, you know, and the same person likewise, even the dad or the future dad or whatever. So it's not always that like having a kid automatically you become a parent. For moms and dads, by the way, whether you carry or you don't carry. It's not an automatic, like in 24 hours when you wake up, you know what you're doing. No one knows what they're doing. And let's just also be kind to each other. And yeah, like literally take it easy, take it one day at a time, and at your own pace. Yeah.
Deep stuff. Thank you.
For me, I would say, so to myself, what would I say? It's not easy, it's a learning experience all the time, but the support system that you have is very important. If you have support, grab onto it and take it, because it's not an easy experience. But like Balisa said, you must take it one day at a time. Like, honestly speaking, you learn, every single experience teaches you something different, and you learn how to be better, and how to teach your kids to be, to grow up into this world. For me, raising girls, I should say, is it's very different now, because the influences that you have, not just from friends, etc., but also from social media, etc. It's a very difficult conversations you have to have a lot earlier than you needed to, and children are growing up a lot faster than they should be.
So true.
But just take it one day at a time. Don't be too hard on yourself, and just do the best you can, honestly. Yeah.
100%.
For me, one thing that I always worried about before I had kids, and a lot of people I know worry about the same thing, is like looking after provision. Like, I can't afford a kid. I'm sure you've heard that. The piece of advice I would give is something I heard from somebody else, another mom. She told me, and I've never forgotten it. She told me that, Shumi, every child is born like this, and every child comes carrying provision for themselves from God. That child has financial provision. That child gives you as a mom also everything that you need to take care of that child. So, one, trust your kid. Two, trust yourself. Balisa mentioned looking for, researching, Googling things. You will find so many things about motherhood on the net, on the internet. Do this, don't do that. Should I sleep train? Should I not sleep train? There are so many varying opinions and whatever. I think my advice to myself would be trust yourself. Trust yourself as a mom. God has given you that role for a reason, and do what you gotta do. Do what you know is right, or what you feel is right for your child, for your family, and don't try and be anybody else. Don't try and do it any way anybody else does it. Do it your own way, and really trust God to help you, because at the end of the day, it's only God who can do the things that needs to be done on this journey.
Yeah.
So having said that, right, you guys, we want to know, like, how old are your kids? How many do you have? Girls, boys?
So I have two girls, 9 and 5. They're two girls, yeah. Yeah.
I also have two girls. One is 3, and the other one is 6 months old.
I very proudly just have one child, and it's a boy, and he's 5 years old.
But I'm sure he keeps you busy.
No, it's enough. It's enough. Thank you. But maybe I'll take some of your advice. Maybe if I think of having a second one, God will provide. But no.
No, God will definitely provide. So yeah, okay. So I'm going to ask you just a random question, just to get into things. What type of a mom are you? When your babies were young, did you cry when they got vaccinated? Were you that mom that, oh, my child is getting vaccinated? Did you tear up? Oh, it's so painful. No, I can't look. What type of mom were you?
No, I'm still not that mom.
Really?
Like, no, I'm just like, I'm like the get over it mom. That's the kind of mom I am. Yeah, like my firstborn is very sensitive. Like, she cries about everything. And I mean, I do consider her feelings, but sometimes I'm like, it's fine, I'm sorry. Okay, come, let's carry on. You know what I mean? Like, I'm that mom. I'm just like, let's get over it. Let's just keep it moving. I'm sorry that it happened.
Yes.
And fine, like, we're done.
Okay.
Yeah.
Palisa?
Well, first of all, like, I'm just glad I'm a boy mom. I just always wanted to, if I had a kid, like, it must just be boys. I think mainly because of, like, maybe I'd struggle to, like, be extremely, like, sensitive and, you know. So, I mean, I remember Enzo's first vaccination, like, I had my camera out. And I was just like, I just want to see his face when the needle goes in.
Oh my gosh.
And like my mom was on the other side, like busy, you know, distracting him and whatever. And then literally he was just laughing, and then went in and he was like, and he just carried on laughing, and I just died. Like I don't know. I'm just like, he just entertains me, man. I think I'm just that mom. I'm just like, how? Okay, why are you crying? And then it doesn't make sense, and I just crack up. I'm just like, wow. So I'm like always like entertained. Honestly, I'm just like, even like when they hurt themselves and you've told them a million times, don't do that. I'm just like, yeah, but
I told you.
But then obviously, like, you know, gentle parenting kicks in. And then you must, you know, you mustn't open wounds that shouldn't be open. You must be there. You can't laugh, can't make fun of them. But
I want to interject. What is this gentle parenting thing? What is gentle?
I have mixed feelings about gentle parenting, to be honest.
it's preventing your child from sitting in a therapist's room and talking about you.
In 30 years.
Where they're like, my mother didn't care about my feelings, that kind of situation. So yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Some people are too extreme. Like you get the parents that coddle their children, like they still coddling them now, like grown-ups, and then you're like, but what's that? You know what I mean? So I think you have to strike a good balance. You have to be fair and be like, shame, I am sorry, and let's talk about it. But I mean, also you can't now like everything be super sensitive and like just not let this person be able to handle things. You know what I mean? Because we grow up, and you hope when your child grows up, they will learn and they'll be able to one day move forward and do things on their own, and they won't be like, I don't know what to do, or I bumped my finger, oh my word, I'm going to die, like that situation. You need to strike a balance, I think.
But also, I think we focus so much on gentle parenting as like on the child, right? But it's about the parent. So it's about us being gentle with ourselves. So no outbursts, calming down. If your child like maybe has, I don't know, tantrum, you're telling them to breathe, but you're not breathing. And then you're like, shut up, you know, and then you just have a natural, normal reaction sometimes, you know, but also as much as you are parenting your child, like parent yourself as well, you know. Whatever you tell them, do it as well. Yes, we know like they mimic everything, but I think the essence of gentle parenting is for us to just keep checking ourselves. Because, I mean, just a lot of, you know, our generation of parents, like we had grannies. Like, I mean, my granny used to solve anything with a wooden spoon. Quick, fast, you know, quick, fast. And I'm not mad at that, right? But obviously looking back and sitting with the therapist and childhood traumas and stuff, yes, and it's valid to have those traumas, but it's all now about like how we control ourselves while we are trying to, you know, put this child in society as a kind, aware, self-aware, but like, you know, responsible human being. So we must actually exude like responsible human beingness towards our children.
It isn't easy.
Most days.
It isn't easy. Because the thing is, you're working, you're tired, you're fatigued, and then it's just like, and then you just want to scream, and it's like, okay, calm down, count to 10. You know what I mean? But it isn't easy.
No,
it isn't. No.
And for me, okay, like I mentioned, I have a 3-year-old and I have a 6-month-old. And I just started work again, right? So there's this work-life balance thing. And at this point in my life, there's no balance. I'm literally on go from 6 a.m. until the last child goes to bed, whatever time that is. So I'm at a point in my motherhood journey where I feel like I definitely have no balance. And Palisa, your son is a little bit older, and you run businesses. How do you? How
There's no such thing as balance. I sleep when I sleep. I take him to school when he needs to get to school. Sometimes we're late, sometimes we're early. I do what needs to be done every day. Is he fed? I eat once a day. What balance is that? Just sometimes it's just, you know, in my language, mushito tswela pele, like, you just do what you gotta do, you know. But also, one thing I do want to highlight is like support structures, right? I can say some of these things because like my mom is always there, you know, and she can drive, she can cook, she's completely able, you know, to do stuff. If I'm coming home late, it's fine. So some people, it's probably like just them, dad and kid, right? No nanny, no external help. So they really like losing it. And then you see them and you're like, oh, your hair, you need to do it. You know? So like our support structures all look completely different. I mean, every holiday, Enzo has 2 sets of grandparents, fully capable and able to do everything, live in cities. So goes off to KZN. I'm free for the whole holiday, guys. Like, Lalela, I'm living La Vida Loca. Like, so my support system and your support system, it can be completely different. So you just have to find whatever balance means to you. Because another thing is, we can be good at many things, but not always at the same time. So you find that if I see that Enzo is starting to get a bit like the tantrums are being, and you know, then I see, okay, maybe I'm spending a bit too much time away from him now. Then guess what? Now suffers so that this, you know, so then work and whatever. Now I must delegate more. If things go wrong, I need to sometimes, you know, swallow that pill. But as long as now he's fine, then, you know, but also just to prioritize your life as well, I think is important. So one thing that must always like decrease, if ever my son is not okay, is definitely everything else. But he's like the focus, you know. So, yeah, you must just keep checking every day, man, you know. Like, if you're feeling whatever, bloated, you drink water, you do, you know, you just always check yourself to balance yourself out. But I don't think there's a formula. But getting help and support is definitely one trick to try and balance yourself out before you go crazy.
That's true.
And you? How do you balance your life?
Just like Balisa said, support structure. That's very important. I also have my mom who helps me with basically everything. I literally call her their second mom because it's just like, because I literally have to leave like 6:30 almost, and I come home different times in the day. Sometimes I can get home at 5, sometimes 7, sometimes later. So she's there, so they know at least she'll pick them up from school, she'll get them ready for bed if I'm not there in time, that sort of situation. And they understand that, you know what, I don't always have the time that I'd like to have with them, but at least they have their grandmother with them. And then, yes, there's the weekends, and, you know, we just try and work around that. So, yeah, support is very important. Yeah.
Tell me about friendships in general. How are your friendships with like other people since you became a mom? I'm more okay. Go ahead.
Finish your question and then.
I'm more interested in your friendships with non-moms, but you can tell you can tell me about your friendships in general, because for me, my goodness, my friendships have really changed since becoming a mom. First of all, because I just can't talk to everybody the same way I used to talk before. I don't have the time. Like I said to you, from 6 to 9, I am occupied. And then who's going to be waiting for me at 9 to be like, how chummy, how are you, you know? Yes, of course. Tina is always there. Tina will call me at 6 in the morning. But yes, tell me, how do you guys like balance friendship and motherhood and life, and how's it going?
And replying to text.
No, I think this is my first point. I think at the beginning, like when I was new, fresh mom out of the box, I'd feel so like guilty, you know. It's like you've got baby beside you, you've got your phone, and you're like, what are they saying? So you don't want to miss out, what's going on? What's this dance now? Like, I don't know this dance. Like, what's going on? You know, and you know, but then later on, now I'm just I reply on working days, maybe 3 working days later. And honestly, like, I don't care. Like, I'm just like, okay, sorry guys, like, it is what it is. But also, I love my friendships with non-moms. Those are the ones that keep me going. Because you'll meet up and then it's like, my friend did this. And it's just like, okay, we know this is our life, but like, what else is going on, guys? Like, and then, you know, like, I want to know other things and I want to talk about other stuff. And usually when I meet with like my non-moms, those are like my more, and not also just like bash whatever, I'm not bashing, but I'm just like, when I meet with a non-mom, they usually talk about like their career. I really want to get this job. And then it stimulates me differently, you know, completely differently. Because I am that girl as well, like ambitious. I always just, what's the next thing? What's going on at work? What's consulting? What's happening? What are the trends? I want to also, you know, so I think having, like, keeping those friends is so important, guys. Like, I know, like, you know, our in-laws and our moms will be like, you mustn't keep those people around. Even you get married, they're like, don't keep your single friends, you know. I don't subscribe. But, like, it's so important for you to, as a multifaceted human, to keep having different kinds of conversations. Because sometimes you find yourself literally just talking about and living and breathing for your child, where you are a whole human. And then once they leave the nest, you're going to be left empty. So I'm always like, once again, balanced. Like, I'm always like conscious, like, okay, I think I've been chilling with the moms a bit much now. Like, where the crazy ones at? You know, like, go chill with my single friends, or not even single, non-mom friends, or like play dates sometimes if she's an aunt, you know, like, just, yeah. It's, you have to, guys. Otherwise, you're going to baby talk. All your conversations are going to be baby talk.
And it can get tiring. Hey?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get tired of talking about your children. No shade or whatever. We love them.
Yes.
But I mean,
I'm
like,
also a person.
it's just like, I was a human. Well, I still am human, but like, I was someone before you came around. So it's like, nah, it's not, my whole world doesn't have to be like 360 just about you. So I also feel the same. But I mean, with me, my friendships keep me sane. So it's like, when I need my time out, my kids know, everyone knows I'm going to see my friend. Bye. And then it's just like, they know, they understand. And I mean, I have a few set of friends, but I mean, some who have kids, some who don't have kids, it doesn't really matter. But I mean, they keep me sane. Like, go out, time out, breathe. And yes, sometimes, yes, the kids will come along and, you know, we hang out, they play there, whatever. But I mean, if I didn't have my friends, I actually don't know what I would do. Like, because sometimes even at home, like, I get home and then it's just, I'm flooded. Like, okay, this happened at school and this and this and that. And then it's like my mom reporting about everything that happened. And then I'm left there and I'm like, yeah, I also had a very tough day, hey? Like, I'm also tired.
That outlet,
like, so I'm just like, okay, good night. And then it's just like, oh, thanks. So at least my friends, I can tap in and I'm like, yo, I had this day or this happened, whatever. So I really value my friendships.
But how does it feel for you?
I'm sitting here feeling guilty because I'm always like, what is your kid doing? Like, especially
That's
with
so
her.
important.
Yeah, because her kids went to the same school that we went to. What uniform is that? Are they doing skill but in grade 4? You know,
Yeah.
like that kind of. Even with her, well, I feel like I'm a little bit low key, but I'll be like, oh, so that's Wawa's stage now, okay? Like with your son, he started the trend. Well, in our friendship group, he started the trend of kids swimming. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I almost
Him
want
and
to be
Fafa,
like,
I think, yeah.
Yeah, I want to be like, so I saw a video of you need to make them swim with clothes. You know, like in my heart, I'll be like, yo, that's what I want to ask. That's what. So now I'm just like, oh.
So what you mean? You feel like you have to check on the kids first before you check on the person first. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, I'm obsessed.
So it's like,
I'm obsessed with your
like
kids.
how the kids are there, and it's like, oh, and then how are you doing,
Yeah,
or whatever. So it's like,
you know, we're also
it's like,
can you also
it's like, what is she doing now, or what? It's like,
Like I'll be like very curious, because like just like especially like because I've known you guys, whether it's like from osmosis, like I've been watching you since before the kid, and like you know before you're like Chef Bali, or like I've known her since we were literal kids.
Yeah.
So it's like you're standing like a fly on the wall and be like, oh, so Shumi as a parent, you know, Shumi when you were about that age,
Yeah.
you know. So I'm very obsessed. So I feel so guilty because I'm obsessed about the kids too.
Like, you're not the friend we go to like relax and not talk about
You're
the
the
kids.
one who
Yeah.
wants
You want to
know
ask
about
all the
kids.
questions. Oh,
Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
We'll engage on business later. But I'm that person. Yeah, I'll even be like, I've seen Peppa Pig is coming to.
No, me, I just want rich aunts. If you've seen Peppa Pig is coming, have you bought the ticket?
Do you want to come
That's
with us
all I
or
want to
not?
know from the
yeah, like
aunt.
you can get the tickets and you can go
go. Oh, so
Yeah.
I can take the kids.
Oh yes, of course.
This is nice.
Anytime.
I think I need like a car seat in my car. I'm considering getting a new car so that I can just get a car seat because my car doesn't have seat
I love your
belts.
commitment.
Yeah. No, oh guys, I'm so ready.
Yeah, we need answers.
Yeah.
This is what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me, what is your least favorite part about being a mom? Least favorite. For me, at this point in motherhood, it's the waking up early. I don't like it. Like Monday to Monday, 6.
6 to
Like,
6.
even if you make them sleep late a little bit, 6 a.m., we will all be awake whether we want to or not. For me, that is my least favorite part right now. Yeah.
For me, my least favorite is that I literally have to know everything.
They tell
Like,
you everything.
no, I have to know everything. Like, I have to know. So if I don't know, or if I make a mistake, like I remember once, I didn't pack the lunch, and then it was like, you didn't pack the lunch box, and I was like, well, I didn't pack the lunchbox. Like, I'm so sorry that I didn't pack the lunchbox. So I have to like remember everything. And if I don't, then it's just like, oh, you forgot to do this, or but not like in a nice way sometimes. Sometimes it's like you're attacked for forgetting, and you're like, but you were also there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I also have like a million stuff going on in my head. And then it's like, if you forget something, it's like you forgot, and it's such a big thing. So that's what I don't like.
And you're so right, having to remember everything, the doctor's appointments, when
Everything,
they are,
yeah.
every single, where are the birth certificates, you must know.
Yeah, it's like, then you're like, I packed it. Yeah, then give me a moment. Oh, you don't remember?
On
Yeah,
top of that,
like,
what's for dinner? On top of all of that, what are we eating?
So what
Yes.
is typically for dinner? Just out of curiosity.
No mine.
Anything that can be made within
Really?
1 hour. With load shedding, maybe even
1 hour is too long.
Yeah.
That is too, sometimes it's, as Enzo would say, peanut butter and jelly. Like, that's it. But for me, it's literally both. Like, guys, waking up for school, it's as if I'm doing it all over again. Like, it's personal. Like, it's so personal. Like, I snooze so much. And then I'll be like, then I'm that mom, ne? Then I'm that mom. Go. Like, and I'm just like, but this is, I know very well this is my fault. But I'm just like, I'm not taking that blame. Like, ulate, you know? But like, also, definitely also like the mom homework. It's really not the kids' homework. Like, book dress up day stresses me out.
What's that?
Book dress up. So they had book dress up on Monday, for instance, and you have to dress like your favorite character in the book. Now, my child, his whole library is full of Christian books.
Oh,
So I was like, you love, like, you know, Noah's Ark, you love Jonah. He's like, I'm not dressing up like those guys. Like, I want to be Spider-Man. And I'm just like, okay, Spider-Man has a comic book that can work, you know. And then I work a lot on weekends. So what happened was, I'm confessing now. So like what happened was this literal past weekend, at night, then you also get these mom groups that at school that text you at night. But thank God for them, because they were like, don't forget to book just update tomorrow. I'm out ne with my friend that doesn't have a child. So you can go out on Sundays with those ones. And I'm just like,
I forgot.
and literally I checked like Westpac, what time do they open in the morning? I was like, tomorrow we're going to be 30 minutes late for school because we're going to start at Westpac together.
Get the outfit.
Guys, like not to, I'll say it, but like I was just like, when we woke up in the morning, like I didn't sleep that whole night because Enzo was sick. Not me, on some. I don't have to look like a bad mom now, right? Yeah, because they'll shame you forever. Those kids, they'll shame you for, like I missed his first soccer game because I'm not a housewife also. But like,
What did he say?
not me also getting like chatting to by the coach.
The coach.
Yeah, like, but he was just like, you know, like as black moms, you know, you guys like just need to step it up a little bit. Yeah, he's like, hey, when we looked out there, hey, it was just like white moms, and we're like, but sir, we're at work.
Sir?
But Enzo gave it like the whole week. So are you gonna remember? Not like the last time when you forgot. Like, yeah, no, I was being grilled. I was being grilled. Coco, do you know she forgot? Like anyone who needs
But
to
if
hear.
you didn't work for yourself, how was that supposed to work? How exactly?
Tell that to him, please. I think it makes sense in his head. No, it doesn't. You don't care about me. That's what he's gonna sit with his therapist and say, "Man, I forgot."
I think it's such like being a. Okay, I've just started a new job.
Yeah.
And for the first time, I was like, well, I've been thinking about it, but for the first time when I got to that job, I was like, I need to have kids and I need to have them here because you just like,
structure that could work.
yeah, at 1:30, you just hear kutlu, kutlu, kutlu. On Teams, people are going orange. And then they're like, I'm going to go pick my kid up. And I'm like, hi, Nami, I need to.
I was also like doing this. Like,
Yeah. I literally.
Like, oh no, you guys all go. Oh no, I don't have kids.
So,
okay.
yeah, but it's also, well, I guess it's more of a workplace thing because at my old workplace, I was like, fall pregnant here, your career is over. Yeah. And now I'm like, why am I so late with this thing now, you know?
Well, you can still, like we said, mustn't rush into take your time.
Take your time.
Take your time.
Are there things that your grandmother or your mom or your aunt used to do that you did not understand until you became a mom? For me, it's the thing about dress warmly, put on a jacket. It used to annoy me. My mom would always be like, where's your jacket? Put on something warm. It's cold out even when I feel like it's not. But today, I am that mom. I am that mom that even if the sun is out, I'll be like, don't forget to put on something warm. So is there anything that your moms or grandmothers or aunts used to do or say that you never understood until you became a mom?
I'm not. It's not coming. It's not coming. No, for me, I'm like, in reverse, it's me telling them. I tell them you should sleep. I'm like, sleep, it's nice. It's very nice. Because I'm like, once it's done, once you go to work and it's finished. So I can't think of anything my mother or them used to tell me, but now I tell them sleep. And they go, oh. But, okay, not my last one. She listens. She likes to sleep. She does. But my first one's always like, I'm not tired. But she's always the most tired. Always. But, yeah, I'm like, guys, nap. It's very nice. If you're on holiday, take naps. It's nice. Because I'm like, once it's done, it's done, it's finished. So I can't think of anything. But
yeah, I also can't think of anything. And I'm starting to think me and you are very similar parents because, like, my mom will be like, I'll be like, get him ready or whatever, and then he'll be ready. And I'm just like, as soon as he gets in the car, I'm like, yo, take this off. Yeah. Like, you know, like she like, you know how parents, they dress them for the weather inside the house. And then not like
if they feeling cold,
yeah, then everybody must be.
Everyone else is cold. And it's like no.
Yeah.
Because
So
but literally, my kids will actually. You'll see, yeah,
Sweating.
sweat.
Seriously,
Seriously, I'm like, Shame, it's okay.
Take off that coat.
Put it in your bag.
But isn't one of the things that I've picked up with my parent friends, okay, and it's also something I see in myself. As soon as they became parents, not that they weren't Christians. You see this thing with your kid has Christian books. Yeah. I'll be like, since when?
You don't even.
please, man, don't judge us with the hoops and everything, okay?
Yeah. But I'll be like, Jesus, not that, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like
Remember, you
Papa.
used to teach them the right
way.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Whether or not you
and you have to make sure you'll be judged for that. So it's like, you gotta make sure, guys, you must study, you must read your Bible, you must do all
Memory
that,
verses,
all that
the
stuff,
whole-
and it's
all
easy.
that
It's
stuff.
easy if you grew up like that. So you know what I mean. Like we don't have to go looking for a moral view on how to raise
because
your
we get
child
it.
because we get it. Whether our views end up changing or whatever, but at least the foundation is there. But also I really heavily mix it in with what do you think.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think we ever got the opportunity
No, we didn't.
to think.
It was just thrown down your throat.
Yeah, and if you think for yourself, then it's like, oh,
They'll pray about you.
Yeah, oh, they're like, that's their favorite line. Oh,
Yeah.
we need to pray for them.
Yeah.
And you're like,
yeah.
okay, so.
So if your kids say they don't want to go to church today, you're not gonna be like, you what?
No, he's going.
Eye contact.
Oh, okay.
No, he's going. He's going because then also it's just a routine thing. Like it's just you also just making him used to that there's non-negotiables in life also. So it's more than about going to church because Shem, I do sometimes look at him. He's bored out of his mind, right? But it's also just a lesson in life, just knowing that you're not always going to get your way. Sometimes when things have to be like this, they'll have to be like that. You learn to live with it. Like, there's just a lot of other secondary, lessons just by having that routine, And if he starts saying, like, oh, I hate church, whatever, then that's another opportunity to be like, okay, why? Like, open it up. See how he thinks, So, I have a child that once said to the elder at church, oh, you're talking about Jesus again, not that guy. Like, yeah. So, but I mean, he was the same, like, younger, he's the same person who will be, like, singing all these songs. And then older, like, post, like, 3 years old. Now, like I said, all his favorite books are Bible stories. So it's like, you can see how their thinking patterns change. And, like, why Jesus all the time? Because he thinks, like, the other guys are cooler. Like Jonah, like, oh my God, like, Jesus, like, he just went and then he died and then, like,
And that's it. Yeah.
what's with this guy? He doesn't get the, like, what's so great?
I also die on the cross?
Like, who wants to die? Someone does want to be transported in the belly of the whale. That's much cooler. And remember, it's stories to them. Like, it's all magic also. Because he's just like, if I want a toy, then you always say, I must ask God. Why didn't you just poof? So our grannies would be like, what's in it?
Demons.
Yeah, like, exactly. Yeah.
Pastor, talk to your friend. Talk to your
Yeah.
Okay. Self-care. What is your biggest self-care tip for busy moms? You spoke about self-care, but what tip would you give a busy mom self-care?
Switch off your phone and take a walk.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, quick, rapid self-care, like, on a daily, like, just even if you don't take a walk, just switch it off.
I don't remember when I did either. Switching off my phone or taking a walk.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Have a nap. Take a nap. No, a lot, like, you regroup, you wake up, you feel better, you're in a better mood, you're ready to, you're like, okay, come, we can hang out now. What you want to do? Like, you just refresh. So I'd say have a nap, honestly.
For me, I'd say get a helper because, hey, I recently got a helper that now stays with us. My life has forever changed. I wake up and the kids' clothes are there, ready to be worn. And then somebody has warmed the towels for the kids. And somebody's going to drip. Guys, my life has never been on
the heater.
On the heater. It's called, on the heater. But, like, the bottle has been made, like, all I just need to do is wake up and, like, direct. Okay, you go there. You go there. It's so nice. Somebody cooks also. For me, biggest support structure. Get somebody to help you. Get people to help you because this journey, if you do it on your own, it becomes heavier. It becomes more a burden than
a joy.
Yeah, but I mean, very few of us can also say that. So, like, take that, be grateful for it as well. Because, like, other moms are losing it alone,
I understand that.
But, yeah. But I'm just like, even them, like, guys, switch off your phones and, like, take a walk with the kid. But, yeah.
I think a strange thing, and my sister always talks to me about it, she's like, you see things in other people's lives. So, like, when you said the walk thing, I was just like, yo. So, yeah, me and the memes. There's a meme going around where people are like, everybody is going on about these mental health walks. I hate the mental health walks, but they really, really help.
Yeah.
So, I take those walks. I also just switch off just tell my family, look,
I'm safe.
I'm walking, and I'll tell you when I get back. So, I was like, oh, so that's a mom thing, too. And I think, like, with the whole this is 30 thing, even the thing about a helper, okay, fine, I live alone or whatever. But I was also like, oh, I was telling her earlier, she was like, I'll wash the dishes for you. I was like, oh, thank you. Yeah, so it's like, it's been quite good to see, like, also the parallels, like, oh, this is life and this is motherhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to kind of wrap up this section, I want to ask you, what are your greatest hopes for your children? Like, one day when you are old and grey and you look at your child and you are beaming with joy, what is it that your child would have done or grown up to be like? Or what are your greatest hopes for your children?
I really hope my children will be self-sufficient Like, I always tell them, well, okay, because at the moment my kids are like, I want to be an independent woman. I don't want to get married. I'm like, marriage is not that bad, but I mean, whatever, it is what it is. But just to be sufficient and to be strong, the world is hard. The world is tough, especially for my firstborn. She is so sensitive. So if she can just have a backbone, say no, and just be okay, you know what I mean? Not like now run away and cry and like, I don't know, yeah. So just be okay. Because I remember I was once her. Like I was once that person. And life teaches you a lot of lessons. And then you stand up and you're like, you know what, I can do this. It's okay. I can be fine. Like with or without somebody around, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's what I really hope. That they'll be strong and they will be okay, whether they don't have help sometimes or whether they will have help. Yeah.
Yeah, I think my main thing always just comes out as just to be kind. Really, like, just to be kind. Like, I'm, like, my brother and my sisters and us, we, like, still reap the benefits of, like, in our community, like, the kindness of my grandmother, the kindness of my mom. There's other things that you leave as legacies, and that you don't know how they're going to help the next generation. Like when I finished culinary school, my first client was AXA. And that's because my mom helped this couple to do something and just, willingly. And then they were just like, we're paying back via. So I think for me, it's not really anything tangible. It's just, I just hope that all the things I'm trying to instill in him, to be kind, to speak up for himself, to speak up for himself, to be a gentleman. Chivalry must not die in their generation. And also just be confident, because I'm also just in our age group and you're just seeing guys and your friends. I think a lot of women like rising sort of sets men, a bit on the back burner. Like, okay, so like all the affirmations seem to be for girl children and all these things, So I'm also just trying to instill that, like, you still have your place in society, no matter who you choose to be, but like, be kind, have a generous hand, even if it's not material, but anything that you can do, and just to be a good citizen. Like, I don't care what career he falls in, but he must just believe in himself, have self-confidence. Yeah, it can put on a little bit of arrogance sometimes. You sometimes need an edge, some street smartness to it, some sass. But yeah, just my main thing is just having like a kind-hearted human being that I've like helped to raise. Yeah.
For you?
For me, I don't know. Maybe this is superficial, and I didn't really think about this question before asking it. But for me, I would want my kids to be just financially free, guys. I think about, sometimes I sit and think, if I didn't have to work to pay off my car or work to pay off my house, what kind of a life would I be living? I'm not saying you're not working or anything. You work, but you get to spend your money on other things than just surviving. So I want them to lead a beautiful life. I want them to do what they want to do. If you want to start painting, if you want to travel the world for 5 years, I want them to be able to do that, because it's also in that you grow, in not just living to survive. I feel like a lot of us, we're just living to survive. You lose yourself, because I don't know, who would I be if I had my 9 to 5 open? What right now I'm a financial analyst because that's the work that I do. But if I didn't need to do that, who would I be? What would I do? Maybe I'm the next Beyonce, but because I have to work, maybe because I have to work, we never tap into that,
Yeah.
So I just hope my kids can be who they need and want to be, even if that changes over time, maybe for a period of 5 years, they want to be a singer, or I don't know. You get what I'm trying to say? I just want them to live fully.
Yeah.
And I think that living fully starts from not having to work
the
to
small
live.
stuff.
Yeah, no, work to live, because me, I can't go and travel for 5 years because I need to pay for rent or pay for the car. But if I didn't have to do that, what would I be doing? Who would I be?
So I imagine myself as a tiger mom, but this is why. As a kid, I came from Zim when I was like, I just turned 2. And so I have an older sister. Oh, I wanted to ask you guys the things about birth order. I feel like my parents raised my sister, and then my sister raised me. Shout out to Taffy. Like, the more I think about it as I grow older, because now I'm just with my parents and we're figuring each other out. But I'm like, oh, Taffy was the one who put these protocols and whatever. So when I grew up, I spoke Afrikaans before I spoke English, and then I spoke Shona last. Yeah, my Afrikaans, guys, is like here. So I have this thing that I want my kids to speak Mandarin. Okay, maybe I'm dreaming because I want my kids. But like, I want my kids to speak Mandarin, and I have like my neighbor's kids. One plays the drums. I'm like, maybe if I could like have a band at home, and if you can just, I feel like you can. I have this thing that you can ingrain things into kids. So I just, before age 7, my kids will not rest. They'll be doing Mandarin, double bass, the whole thing. Then I'll be like, at prayer time, I'll be like, that song. And then, we won't even switch on the radio.
They will be playing it.
Yeah. They'll just, but I know it seems like a dream, but.
But you see, the thing is,
I'm
you
just thinking
want
about how
your kids-
tired you're going to be.
Yeah, I'm ready.
But you also, it's like you want your kids to
What
live
if they're not interested in all of
your vibes, not maybe their vibes. What if it's true. What if they don't
What if
like
they're
the
tone deaf?
guitar? Like, what if they don't like the guitar?
You guys tell me, because there's so many things that our parents stopped, well, like me and my siblings from doing. So we can see they were like very intentional about this before 7, and this fell off. So now I'll be like, Mama, you were supposed to push harder for the piano lessons. I'm telling her, because I was like, we were almost there.
Okay, but maybe if your kids communicate that they want to do that. What if they say they don't want to play the drums?
So my whole thing is, before they can, I must do it before they, when they must think it's cool. You see, yeah. Is it obvious?
The day they communicate, you're going to be shattered.
Finished.
What if they like,
Down on the floor.
hated Guam, we hated it.
Yeah.
But we did it because we didn't have a choice.
I'll be like, well, now you speak Mandarin. So say it to me in Mandarin.
You might have like blocked them from their like more natural talent.
Self.
More
That's the
natural
thing.
talent.
'Cause
So
it's just like what Shumi's saying. Like, I mean, it's just, remember like back in the day when parents wanted you to do a specific thing. Like now it's more flex, it's chill, and that's what you should do. They
must
should
relax.
They should
They must.
discover. Like, I wanna play the drums. Or, no, I hate it. I wanna play piano rather. Or, you know what I mean?
I just want to program it in.
I
The files must just be there so that they can
you
just
should
pick it up.
expose them to it.
I think expose
take
them,
Take
but-
the children to Mandarin,
but also call it.
check their vibes.
If they're-
Do
Call
they
it.
like it?
Like
Don't be that parent
yeah.
who's like doing it whether you like it or not. Then they're gonna be like,
call it.
Is it?
Yeah. Like there's things that like me and Enzo's dad see and we're like the soccer.
Oh.
But the child is still like, and you're like, okay, maybe it will, then I saw, but okay, maybe as goalkeeper, things are getting better here, like, So, but just, like Shumi said, it just exposure, just like lay it all out.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up like that, like, I did everything. My siblings, like, hated me at school because we'd leave at, like, 6 p.m. because every day there's an extramural that, like, I'm doing. Then on weekends, it's like, then it's ballet something somewhere or gymnastics somewhere else. So, like, I did, like, everything. But then also that doesn't really help with focus at the same time. Then especially, like, if you, like, the kid is a creative and then also good at academics, it just becomes a little messy. But I think, I see nothing wrong, though, with exposure. But drums and worship at 7 and, it's a tight schedule.
Article, though, that said, expand the frame of reference of your kids while they're young, and you as a parent, your responsibility then becomes to identify what they're strong at, so somebody might say to me, Shumi, you are always busy, you're always doing something with those kids. Last week we went for golf with Wandi, and reason for that is just so that she knows that there's also golf out there, and if I want to play it, I can play it, and if I hate it, it's also fine. We move on to the next thing. But exposing them to those things is really like, it's good, but not then enforcing, because they...
So tiger momming is not like a real thing, basically.
It's not practical.
Wow, what a sad
Also,
day.
you won't sleep, so I don't.
Oh,
We'll have this conversation again sometime.
Tina.
Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for the chat. Thank you for taking your time out to come and just have a conversation with us about motherhood. As the journey continues, Balisa said in the beginning that there's so many stages, and we obviously haven't spoken to somebody who's at the end of their journey of motherhood. We're in various stages of it, and I wish you the absolute best as you go back home to your kids. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank
Tina,
you.
thank you for being that aunt.